Well, my name is Yvonne Perry, and I am a practitioner of light codes. I'm a coach to people who are awakening, especially those who have had some really unusual life transforming experiences, such as the walk in experience. I also work with people who are very energy sensitive, highly sensitive people, empaths. And I also work with people who are opening to their light language, their cosmic languages. And those are, I guess, my three major places that I work with. And I do that through coaching, Zoom, Skype, telephone, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, wherever. I have international clients that I work with, so I'm very thankful to have those opportunities to work with them online. Now, a typical coaching session might include light language, if that's the, we kind of identify where the place is that is ready to heal, that's ready to have a little more light, a little more love brought in. And once we identify those, we just apply the codes of light language to those areas and allow them to shift as the higher self or source indicates the need to be opened or to be cleared.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's huge. Like, from my side, from my perspective, like from my little spiritual path, that's like, wow, you're up there.
Oh. Oh.
Yes, like from my
Well,
heart. I really believe that. I feel it, and on a mental way, it's like, wow, you're up there. You're connecting us. You're getting deeper into our path, and you're a coach. You're a spiritual light coach.
yeah. Well, and I like the way that you put it, that I am offering help, because I've been through a lot of stuff. I've been through a lot of heartache and pain in my life, just as all of us. That's kind of indicative of our awakening many times. If we're not sure how to do that ourselves, we kind of get a nudge. I think that's what we're going through universally right now on the earth, is that some of us are getting an urge to let go of things that we have clung to and to really step into our power, whether that power means for us being more authentic, to really be who we are and to express that without holding back and trying to be somebody that we're not, or so we're beginning to live authentically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
And I love
amazing.
helping people to do that. And I like the way you said, yeah, we just kind of reached down. Come on, you can do it, you can do it. It's not that I'm up here and you're down here. That is not the case at all. It's just that we have had different experiences and we want to help one another. Sometimes my clients, we get on the phone together and I realize, wow, this person's had some experiences I haven't had, and I am learning from them as much as they're learning from me. So, that's a fun participation as well. So
Yeah, like an exchange, like you can have come on a certain level of some branch of something,
yeah.
and you always learn from your patients, your clients, your friends. And well, it's been said that a lot of it's also learn from the mirroring, right? Like what you like of someone or what you dislike of someone, it's something that you don't like about yourself or that you like. And yes, it's impressive how sometimes we can see some path according to our path, or very similar, or the when there's a hurt you can see on someone's, like determine. And I would love to know how it was that you got connected to the light language, and what is this history? Is it something that anyone can learn? How can it help your life?
I think the light language itself is something that all of us have within us when we really awaken to our freedom, our personal freedom. A lot of times we don't express it because it's been shut down. Many children speak their fairy language, their alien language in their playtime, and they speak it to their invisible friends. All of that is light language, and it comes from the pure innocence of that child's soul. Well, what awakens it in us is when we return to that childlike innocent state. It's not like we have to get good enough. We just come back to who we really are, who we already are.
Mm.
And that requires freedom, letting go of all the restrictions that have been placed upon us about expressing ourselves. I mean, if you're in kindergarten and your hand gets slapped every time you make a letter wrong, you begin to recoil. And it's like, children have such a strong desire to please their parents or to please their teacher that many times they start retracting their gifts in order to fit in or to not get in trouble. Okay, so what we're teaching with the light language is that we can come back to that because it's already there. Yeah.
That's
So,
beautiful.
and it can be a cosmic language, you know, as we begin to really open up to spirit, we begin to develop the gift a little more deeply, and we come to understand that some of the languages we're speaking are actually those of our counterparts, ourselves in other dimensions, more expressions of our soul in other lifetimes, simultaneous lifetimes. Some of our guides, which I think are us on a higher level or future.
Mm-hmm.
And so we start speaking those language as a way to connect with that part of ourselves. Yeah, and light language is a lot about feeling. You know, one of the things we shut down many times is feeling. Everything but fear. We'll let ourselves feel fear because that seems to be the natural human response to anything that's different, anything that's not our normal course or our normal path. But a lot of times we won't allow ourselves to feel anger. We repress all those feelings. We categorize and say these feelings are okay, these are not, and so that creates a repression then that many times causes us to act out in ways that we wouldn't normally if we had processed that energy when it came up. So another thing that I'm teaching people is how to work with their emotional energy, how to work with their emotions and to feel and to give themselves permission to be true to themselves even when someone else is trying to shut you down. To set boundaries. You know, sometimes we don't learn to set boundaries because as children we're walked over, we're repressed, we're pushed into a mold. You're going to be this when you grow up, or you're going to marry that person, or, you know, no, we don't do it like that. We don't. And so all their creativity is shut down. And part of this ascension is coming back to the creativity, the childlike faith, the love, the quick forgiveness. You know, children, they can be mad one minute and best friends the next. Wow, could we do that? Could we just express it and be done with it and not hold that against ourselves or someone else? But it's not what we're comfortable with.
Okay, amazing. What could you tell the people in order to get more into them or more connected to themselves? I can tell there is a lot of healing that has to be done within you. You can do your own healing. Also, there is meditation and physical practices like yoga and applying auto massages to yourself and like giving love, like truly, like you can feel. What else could you recommend to the people?
Yeah. All those are really good methods. And I have a friend named Brenda Julian Williams who taught me probably almost 10 years ago now how to do what's called a reset. And it's good anytime at all. If you feel like you're a little out of sync and you want to connect more. And so the left palm, we take the left palm and just kind of hover over the chest and find that spot where you feel the most energy, maybe hot or cold, maybe vibrating or a pulling in, and then just place that left palm there. Yeah, you can feel something.
Wow.
You're connecting right there. You're connecting with your heart space. And then the right hand, this is called quiet touch. And the right hand just lies on the abdomen. Just really connect in with the body. I think a lot of times we're just not connected with our body. We're out there somewhere. We're looking for something out there to help us feel grounded or something out there to help us be in control. But it's really all right here. It's in this physical expression of who we are. This is our connection with body and source. And then there's a breath that we can take while we're in this quiet touch position. called the reset breath. And you just stop the breath, pause, and then exhale. And inhale and exhale. And truly engage with the shift that you're feeling in the body. Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it vibrating? Is it still? And how is the breath responding? Is it deeper? Is it more shallow? Is it wanting to pause?
Wow.
You feel the energy.
I felt like a lot of energy flowing, and like an activation, more like a relaxing activation, like I kind of got lost at some point, like connected, and then there was like something, something
Like
like
a
that.
switch. That's the reset. That's the reset.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Very powerful. And so easy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And anybody can do it, no matter what level you consider yourself to be at spiritually. I mean, this can be done in Walmart. It's not something that's hard. It's like if you just start finding yourself, agitated, or maybe you're feeling a lot of people's energy around you, feel like your personal 18 inches is being violated, just drop into that for a moment and, just. You can even do it while you're driving, maybe not the touch, but maybe at a red light. Yeah, if you're feeling a little stressed in traffic, maybe the next time you stop, you could do a reset. And just kind of get into that still place. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Very impressive. I'm super glad that we had this meeting and this little session. So wow, grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, so some of the things I teach in my sessions is how to apply practical things like that to your ascension path. It's not always about feeling about vibrating or being able to use this or being clairvoyant or clairaudient and all the tools. I use a lot of different tools, but it's because I feel like it enhances the process, not because I'm dependent on them. I love to use drums, rattles, bells and shakers and different kinds of tools, but that's not really what's projecting that. That's just supporting the field. When you're doing this reset is you're creating a field where you are totally immersed in your divine energy. And we would also probably apply some light language. So how do you feel about sharing some light language on this call?
Of course, totally. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because that will even further it. Now, there's a very simple thing where we just kind of rub our hands in front to feel the energy and then spread them apart a little bit. This is old. I mean, you've done this so many times, but it's a beautiful way to feel, that lifting, the buoyancy. This is my field. This is my energy. This is my 18 inches. And really, that's all we're responsible for. We don't have to fix anybody else. We don't have to change what's out there. When you're totally in your field, you will feel or know what to do. You'll get inspired action rather than a knee-jerk action. If you'll just take a moment to come into that feeling place. Yeah.
I can totally feel the energy. I remember doing this like on my very beginning of this journey.
Back to basics.
And feel the energy. And right now I'm starting doing Reiki to my mom, like very intuitive Reiki. And the other day it was amazing because I could could actually see the prana coming out of my hands in place on my mom's head. And that was like, wow.
Totally.
And now I can feel it, and it's amazing. But what is actually what we feel here? I don't know what I can feel it, but I don't know what it is.
We call it the personal 18 inches because that's about how far it extends from the body. That's your personal field. Okay. Outside of that, there's a collective field. Okay. But this is your personal space. Everybody has a personal space. Everybody can tap into that and to feel that. So sometimes when you put your hands out like this, you may feel the heat or the connectivity inside the hands, but sometimes you may feel it outside. You can feel the field out there, and you can feel the field in here.
Yes. I feel it more inside, like
Uh-huh.
strongly, like very
Yeah.
intense in the
Hmm.
palms.
Hmm.
But I can also perceive some energy on the outside of
Hmm.
the hands.
Hmm. Hmm. And the more you're connected with the body, the more you're going to feel the difference, the similarities and the difference. How does my energy feel? How does it feel out there? That's the greater collective, which we're all part of.
Yes.
And
And
sometimes
we
it feels a
heal.
little bumpy.
Yes, and as we heal ourselves, it's a way of healing the collective, right? So
Because we're anchoring more light in our own field, and that goes out from the heart space to everyone. We carry the light.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah, we are channels of
Yeah.
light.
Yeah.
So
And if
beautiful.
you kind of envision this 18-inch field around you as being a cylinder of light, and the top is open for you to receive from source and higher consciousness and the higher collective realms, and then the bottom open to Mother Gaia that supports us here in this incarnation, because without her we wouldn't be
Mm,
able to sustain life on the planet in physical form. So we're open to her, and we're open to the cosmos, and then we're closed in to our own field so that we can begin to really resonate with our own truth.
mm,
I mean, right now we don't know what to believe out there. It's kind of confusing. But if we get into that still, quiet place, then we'll have the instructions we need to take an inspired action. If you need to call somebody, if you need to prepare, if you feel like whatever, is it time to go to the store and stock up? All of those kinds of things, you can find that in your field. That's your information field as well as your energy field, because you've
mm.
got information dropping in.
Lovely. Oh, so lovely. I adore talking to you. You're a true guide, true master.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank
I can
you.
feel your energy. Beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Well, we all have beautiful energy, and it's a privilege to share that. So, any other questions, or you want to go
Um,
to the light language, or?
yes, totally. Let's go there.
Okay, all right, because you may have some questions or some comments about that. Okay, so, ooh. Ora taravishula ne kolai, ora tokura vretu sunda na lina lokarma aletaka, hashatolare, hirora, ruma karate, kusitaka va, hoandala, irusula iokola, ututushita, irokura vai. He ishtatanokula ale kiruko. We are embodying more of our truth, more of our higher self in these physical forms. Itutula karutukushimata revikulu kuaratakasha takani nale. And in doing so, we are naturally transforming the personality and any woundedness that we perceive that may have happened to us. And we come into this sanctuary, our own personal temple. And in this stillness, in this quietness, we know God and we know ourselves as God. Where there's no separation. And we have the opportunity then from this space to retrain that personality that's been programmed by the world systems and bring it into integration and into alignment with divine will, with divine source. Irotoro varame ila ioku hachitinola aratoka eve usun tarala uku yanamaka. The toning and the sound is frequency healing. It's a transmission of frequencies that allow you to drop into your own healing. Yeah.
Wow, very powerful. When I shut my eyes and you just start speaking, like I could see some sparkles on inside, like, and then some sort of circles, There was a lot of colors, mostly green, and yeah, there was a whole sensation of stillness, of peace, of quiet. And then I got chills at some point. Like, yeah, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful language. Where do you know where it comes from? From what part of the universe?
Mm. Well, that's not the only languages I speak, so yeah, they're different ones. That felt like my home language, which is probably Lyran, but there's also Pleiadian, there's Arcturian, there's fairies, elves, yeah. So just depends on who I'm transmitting to. And so when I do Lyran, that's like my base language, and that's pretty universal because there's so many Lyrans, on Earth. But in different client sessions, the languages will change to meet the need and the vibrational frequency that person is resonating with as home. Yeah.
Okay, so this Lyran language that you used is from for a lot of people that it's into Earth, that it feels connected with this kind of energy vibration. Okay, wow.
Yeah. And some of it is Earth languages, maybe something that we're using in a parallel life or that we used in a past life. Okay, that we're not speaking now because we weren't raised in that same environment, but we spoke it before, and it's still in our spiritual database.
Okay, wow, very impressive. Okay, amazing. So I would love to share this with my community, and to tell them, to invite them with all my heart to try a session with you. So how? Yes, totally. Like, I only share what I consider to be aligned with the person I am, or the person I pretend or tend to be. And so I totally feel connected with what you do. So how does a session with you works? Like, you start, you speak a little bit of your emotions, or how you...
We try to start with a little background so that we get comfortable with one another, and whatever you're going through at the moment, maybe you'll present that as the thing that you would like to work on for the day and for that session. Then we might go into an intention and speak a prayer of intention of what we want to receive, but it's always this or something better, because sometimes we don't know. we give it our best guess, but then we say or something better. Then we invite the spirit to come in more into our field. We set our field, and the light language takes it from there, because these codes are coming in with information packets that know what to do. Does it need to work on the body? Does it need to work on the mental field? Does it need to work on an emotional wound? Is it working with parallel lives? Are we activating gifts? Are we working with self-expression? And so it's very intuitive. Each session is different, depending on what that person wants to accomplish or what spirit's guiding us to accomplish in that session.
Awesome. Wonderful. And I have one last question. How all this came to you? Like, if you want, of course, to share this with you.
Well, I've always been one who was in touch with guidance. Even as a child, I had my imaginary friends, and I've always felt in touch. I was raised in church, and so that was like my taught way to connect. Now, I knew that there was more. I knew that there was more than just the religion, just the book, just the traditions. And I went on my own path to find that when I was in my 30s. And a part of that was wanting to be like Jesus and do the works that Jesus did and do what the apostles did. It's like, why are we not doing these works now? And so my curiosity, my exploring curiosity, took me to a passage in the Bible talking about spiritual gifts, which were not being practiced in any of the religions that I was participating in. And I began to ask for them. And the next thing I know, the gifts of healing are opening up, and the gifts of prophecy and of understanding and compassion. All of these things were beginning to be brought forth. And I realized, wait a minute, what about this gift of tongues? What's that mean? And I thought, well, I'm going to be going as a missionary. I really felt a call to help humanity, and that I would probably be sent out from a church or something like that to help people in need in other countries. Well, so I said, wouldn't it be nice if I could speak the language without having to actually learn it? That's how naive in the gifts I was, okay? Because it wasn't taught in my understanding. And so I just started praying to learn the tongues so that I would be prepared to go out and to help others. And I struggled with that for several months, and didn't happen. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? We always go to that, right? What's wrong with me? Nothing wrong with any of us. We didn't have enough information. So in my seeking, and you know how synchronicity happens, I had a friend that I had been praying with for many times, for many years. Kathy came over to my house and we were praying together, and she started praying in the languages. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're doing it. You're doing it. And she's like, yeah. And she says, and you can do it too. I'm like, yeah, I've been praying for that. I've been wanting that. But I wasn't going to do it in front of her. I was like, bashful, a little intimidated by just like, I've never done this before and you're already doing it. And I guess there was a little intimidation there. But after she left and I was in my own room, I said, okay, she says I can do it. I believe I can do it. And what I heard drop in was, then just do it. Can it be that simple?
Oh.
And so I just felt this surge of energy, and I began to speak it, and it's like, and it came out. And I'm like, oh my goodness, can I do it again? And I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it over and over. And then it's like something burst loose, all this pent up stuff that was wanting to come through. And I just spoke like that for the rest of the day. The next morning I got up, it's like, can I still do it? Can I still do it? And, and from there it just kept on. That was in 1994.
Wow.
So I've been using it now for 25, 26 years.
Wow. That's
with
amazing.
no understanding from the church as to how the gifts were supposed to be used. In fact, when I finally did get into a religion that would embrace more of the gifts, they put so many rules and regulations on it to where it just didn't feel free to express it. So when I've walked away completely from the church setting, the religious setting, and just really began to grow in my own spirit and my own knowing and my own connection, that's when the power really started coming with it. And, being able to bring that field just like that and to teach others how to do it for themselves.
So you can also teach to speak the language, right?
I do activation classes, once a month online. Yeah.
Oh yes, I remember you invite me to one.
Yes, I would love for you to join me for the next one.
Totally.
Yeah, cool.
So grateful. Totally, I would love to.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I started following some accounts on Instagram, and I saw one person doing this light language, the God language, and some stuff with the hands.
Moving energy.
And I was like, wow, what is this? And this was just like a few months ago, I think, probably 4 months ago. So it's pretty new to me, but I totally feel dragged into it, passionate about it. And also because of the fact that since I was a child, when I was not awake, I always loved with the cathedral's bells, do some sort of movements. And I was like, Mom, this is so cool. Like, you can dance with the bells and follow the sound and stuff like that, and always moving my hands. And like right now I totally feel like I would love to learn that. And
well, I would love to help you activate. It's already in you. It's already starting to activate. That's what all this hand stuff is. Yeah. In the class, we'll learn to write the coded languages as well. And it's just an artistic expression of the light language, putting it from the mind and from the heart onto the paper. You've probably seen a lot of people that have done some artistic renditions of the codes on Instagram.
Yes. But I can, like, visually, I can feel like it's the same language. Like the characters are pretty alike. I don't know if it's something that you learn or it's something that you activate, and then there's the written language. But it's like, is it the same for everyone? Like, could you read a light language from another person, or it's like something
No,
totally
it's
personal?
more felt. It's a coded language, so the intention is there. It's like if you look at an art, you're in a museum, you take your best friend there, and you're really drawn to the abstract art, and he or she likes the abstract art, and you go, "Oh, look, I see a bird. Oh, bird? I don't see a bird. I see a frog." So everybody sees, feels, interprets it differently. And I think that's the beauty of it, really, is that it's not a one message for everybody. And it's like reading your horoscope, okay, Libra's here, Leo. And instead, it's like, here's the universal transmission and the frequency. How does it feel to you? How do you interpret it?
Wow.
Because the whole point of it is to lead you back to your own guidance. Your own connection.
Okay. Amazing. Wow, wonderful. This was so happy. I'm so happy.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me to share with you. It's a privilege, and I look forward to having you in the class. And the website, we are one in spirit. We are oneinspirit.com. And if you'll click on the events, you'll see the link to the class. And if you click on services, you'll see the way that you can sign up for a session with me.
Okay.
There's a lot of free stuff out there too, so be sure to click the audios tab.
Okay. Perfect. I'll do so. When is the next class?
June the 17th, I believe it is, the third week of June. Yeah.
So in 2 weeks or so. Like
yes,
that.
The 17th. It's a Wednesday.
17th? Okay.
And we're working with Central Time in USA.
Okay.
So when I say 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time, you'll have to convert that into your time zone.
I'm in that zone too because I'm in Mexico, so we're
straight down.
Yes, but for the rest of the people that will be watching this video, that's a good point to tell them that you're in a central time zone. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much, Yvonne. It was lovely. Thank you, and really wonderful connection.
Yes, indeed. My heartfelt love to you. Thank you so much.
Have a lovely day.
You too, dear.
And week. See you.
Right. Bye-bye.